I'm here with Daniel Francisco of Project Veritas, who is releasing some very interesting things this week. Daniel, what can you tell us about these new releases concerning Obamacare?
It's a hot topic. Everyone's talking about it. These exchanges are floundering on websites across the country. We have broken promises about people losing their health care when they were told that they could keep their doctors, told that they could keep their plans. So there was a timely investigation that we've been doing in Texas that started out just about Obamacare, but actually became so much more. It started to involve various government agencies, various charities receiving federal grants from those agencies in order to sponsor navigators, but more so starting to include other nonprofits and PACs that are very closely linked to our president and his former campaigns. So there's a lot of intricate relationships, some of them nefarious, and it's interesting to see how this is all going to unfold.
Now, some of these relationships are between 501(c)(3)s, which are forbidden by law to have these relationships.
Yes, and there's a distinction. I'm not suggesting that they are necessarily committing fraud themselves as well or doing illegal things. The question more comes with how they handle data and how they handle different transactions under the same hat. What remains to be proved is whether that data is being mined and then used for illegal purposes that they shouldn't be using for. For example, if you're deputized by a county in Texas to register voters, you cannot take that information and then use it for another purpose, i.e. your own organization, your own nonprofit, calling people to volunteer. And that's what we're finding with this investigation, that this improprietous behavior may be happening.
Now, when did your investigation start?
This was probably the most long-term, big-picture project that we've ever taken on. It started in July, and it's actually still going on as this is being recorded. We're a couple of days away from release. But when we do release, you will see that there's stuff that goes back to the summer and some stuff that runs right into November, where we're filming this right now.
Now, I'm going to put on my extreme partisan hat.
Sure.
Now, given where the president is right now, wouldn't it be more damaging? I mean, I know you're thinking of releasing this week.
Right.
Wouldn't it be more of a hit to give it another week and let him stew in what he's already doing, and then have this be another shoe to drop? Or was there a reason why you decided to release this week?
Project Veritas, we have our tactics, and when we release a video, we always have more videos and more instances of fraud. So if we're going to talk about tactics, the reason is because we have goods on all the other content that we're discussing. So we like to release the first video and set the precedent, then let them react, let them defend, let them obfuscate, let them deny. And that's when we catch them in their lies. So let them comment however they wish, but our content's going to come out, and we're going to follow up with video after video.
Now, we have very little time left. One of the things I noticed from some of the video that you were kind enough to let me see, in your original videos, you exposed a lot of ACORN, and ACORN was that basically became other organizations. Are a lot of these ACORN groups now involved in these investigations that you're doing now under different names?
They may be. But the important distinction to remember about ACORN is that they were poised to get about $5 billion in stimulus funds. And yes, they still exist, but they are relatively a shadow of their former selves. Could they be involved? We'll have to watch our videos to see, but there are many organizations beyond ACORN's current iterations. We have a lot of PACs. There's a lot of healthcare nonprofits that are getting money for these federal grants to be navigators, and it's more of that incestuous relationship between these seemingly unrelated organizations with different mission statements and how they apply and gather data. So that's what's going to be interesting to see going forward.
And how do you think the mainstream media will react to this? Do you think that they'll ignore it? Do you think that they'll spin it? What do you think they'll go with this?
We have their reaction down to a science. Initially, it was to discredit the messenger when they didn't like the message. They would demonize James, talk about how he's a criminal, he's discredited, his videos are heavily edited. I think they've been punched back in the teeth enough times by our videos that they know that they're not foolish enough to take that stance anymore, because they know when we release something, we have 5 more videos, we have 5 more instances of fraud. So what they're going to do is do nothing, which proves how ineffective the mainstream media is, because they don't want this narrative discussed. To bring attention to this narrative is to lose, because no one can defend the fraud that we find. So you'll find silence, you'll find someone get fired, and then they'll sweep it under the under the rug.
And finally, if people want to see all of these videos in one place, obviously the Tech Guy blog will link to it, and we're dying to have you on the radio. Where can they go to find all of this information once it's up and running? Or where it'll be coming out, I should say.
Absolutely. You can go to our website, projectveritas.com, where we have a log and a library tab at the top of the page, where you can see all of our previous investigations and a brief summary with consequences of each investigation. People getting fired, laws getting changed. There's always consequences with our videos, which makes them so impactful. So projectveritas.com is the place to catch all of that stuff.
Daniel Francisco, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having
and
me.
well done, by the way.
Thank you.